Now to a story developing out at the Santa Ana National Wildlife Refuge. Remember that fire that shut down the refuge last month? Well, now it's creating a new problem for the people in charge of the park, and time is a factor. Channel 5's Christian von Preissing scoped out the problem and learned it's all about the grass. Christian.
We're heading into a season where the risk of a wildfire is high. Over here at the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge, they're working to prevent a future fire, and they're working to control what could spread it, which is called the guinea grass. This invasive species is not supposed to be here. It's not even from this continent. Yet in the valley and here at the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge, guinea grass spreads like wildfire. This time it's not quite a metaphor. 4 weeks ago, more than 300 acres of the Santa Ana Wildlife Refuge burned. It burned the native brush and it burned the guinea grass.
That it'll sprout very quickly, it'll seed very quickly.
Plant ecologist Kimberly Wall worries the guinea grass will come back before anything else.
So if we allow these areas that the fire burnt through the native vegetation and we leave it bare soil, the guinea grass will be the first thing to come back.
It grows fast. The rain slows down, the grass turns slender, crunchy, and dry. Wall calls it fine fuel.
And a fine fuel, when talking about fires, is very prone to catching fire and to moving a fire through while it gets into some of the more dense fuels.
The native brush that burned last month was habitat for insects, birds, rabbits, lizards, and more. This charred ground contains what's called a seed bank of the guinea grass, and those are living seeds inside the ground that are just waiting for the next rain so that they can sprout. The problem for the valley is guinea grass shoots up everywhere, in gardens, across ranches. Linda Butcher.
I just see a terrible foe because I've been waging war for 10 years on this guinea grass.
She's a volunteer who put in countless hours of work to till and dig at Ramsey Park. Signs mark a native species that were specifically planted to attract critters. She worries about the dry-looking guinea grass here too.
I worry about people, maybe throwing a cigarette out or something and catching the park on fire.
Right. And when it's well hydrated, well, it grows like a weed. This is guinea grass with a lot of water. You can see just how difficult it is for anything else to get up out of the ground. Butcher says the fight is not over.
It's never a losing battle. You can't ever give up.
She fights an invasive foreign plant to protect her park. Christian von Preissing, Channel 5 News at 6. Harlan.
And if you are having trouble with this type of grass in your yard, there are several ways to fight it. A U.S. Fish and Wildlife expert says you can spray it with an herbicide grass killer. Another option, dig it out by the roots, but you better make sure that you go as far down as possible. You can also cut it down several times using a weed eater. But these methods, according to our expert, must be repeated in order to fight any new sprouts that pop up.